Have you heard all about the world-famous Czech beer and want to navigate your way through the unforgettable, unique atmosphere of an evening in a typical Czech pub? Well, today I'm going to tell you all about what to expect, how to blend in like a local, and how to get the most out of this wonderful experience. Ahoy from Prague, I'm Paul Colto. This is Jozin, and I've lived in Prague for 6 years, and during that time I have visited lots and lots and lots of pubs in Prague. That said, I'm obviously not a native Czech and I might make some mistakes over the course of this video, so I 100% welcome any corrections in the comments below. Czech pubs are a vital part of Czech culture because it's the perfect place to sample one of the things that the Czechs are rightly most proud of. Arguably, the best beer in the whole world. A quick Czech lesson: pub is hospoda and beer is pivo. Hospoda, pivo. So, a typical Czech pub will usually have only 1 or 2 beers on tap, which may come as a surprise. That beer will usually come in 2 different strengths. Typically this will be a 10, desítka, or a 12, dvanáctka. A 10 is less strong and more of a session beer. A 12 will have a fuller taste, but it's a bit stronger. There will also often be a dark beer on offer too. All Czech pubs are non-smoking and usually close around 11 o'clock at night. Now the rules of a visit to a Czech pub. First of all, if you're going to a pub in the centre of Prague that has really good reviews online, then call or email ahead and make a reservation. When you arrive, don't go to the bar, just find a vacant table and sit down. On your table there will be some coasters right in the middle of the table. Put one of these in front of you, and if you're very lucky, you shouldn't even need to speak to the waiter and they will bring you a beer. Glorious. Having settled at your table, it may take quite a while for a waiter to come to you. This is one of the biggest criticisms I hear from Americans in Prague, because for them that is really bad service. But my attitude is, what's the rush? Sit back, look around at any history on the wall, gently observe the locals and just settle into the rhythm of the pub. When a waiter does come, they may not seem particularly friendly, but this is slowly changing. Feel free to ask the waiter what he or she recommends. In Prague, almost all waiters will have enough English pub vocabulary to navigate you through your visit. Your service will improve significantly, however, if you use just 1 or 2 Czech phrases like Dobrý den for hello and perhaps děkuji for thank you. Dobrý den, děkuji. The waiter will also bring you food menus in English, as almost all Czech pubs serve food, but there's no pressure to eat. Order a 10 or a 12 beer. It will be a large one unless you specify that you want malé pivo, a little one, malé pivo. When the beer arrives, if you're super lucky, the waiter will put it down in front of you and he or she will turn the glass so the handle is in the exact position you need it for that precious first sip. Now that is service. You can say na zdraví or just ciao, and make sure you make eye contact with everyone with whom you chink your glass. It's common to tap your glass on the coaster too before your first sip. Study the taste of that beer. There is centuries of pride and tradition in that golden elixir that has just entered your mouth. Czech waiters have a 6th sense that can immediately spot any empty beer glass on a table from 20 meters, so rest assured that within a minute of you finishing your beer, a waiter will appear from over your shoulder out of nowhere to ask you, ještě jedno? Which means, another one? You should say, ano prosím, which means, yes please. Ano prosím. Bar snacks. There are a variety of small dishes that are specifically designed to go with your beer, and you must try one. One of the most popular is tatarak, which is basically steak tartare served with fried bread. I've never had it because I'm vegetarian, but there are 1 or 2 cheesy delights in the pub snack menu for us veggies. One is called nakládaný hermelín, which is a camembert style cheese that has been marinated in oil with onions and garlic. It's so good that I actually had my wedding cake designed to look like one giant nakládaný hermelín. The other option, which isn't in every pub and is only for the truly brave and intrepid visitor, is pivní sír, which means beer cheese. It's cheese mixed with beer, raw garlic, raw onions, mustard, ketchup, paprika, salt, pepper, and is all mashed together and smeared over fried bread. It's not for everyone, it really stinks, but in my opinion, the marriage of those bodybuilder beer cheese flavours with a crisp, ripe Czech beer is both heavenly, utterly disorientating, and you will know about it for at least the next 12 hours. So beer cheese is perhaps the Czech equivalent of LSD. If you're on a date or with a girlfriend, it might be wise to avoid the beer cheese completely. If you're extra hungry and want to experience a Czech pub main course, then it has to be svičková, goulash or pork knee. For vegetarians, it can literally only be smažený sír, which is fried cheese. Don't faff around with your order asking to change things because, as my Czech wife assures me, these dishes are perfectly designed as they are. Once I saw 2 American girls order just dumplings with lettuce. I've also witnessed a tourist eating dumplings with their hands. Don't do this. Dip them in the sauce with your fork and eat them with your fork. Of course, Czech pubs also serve wine, typically from Moravia in the south of the country, and soft drinks, of which I'd recommend you try Kofola, which was the Coca-Cola equivalent during communism and has been successfully rebranded and remains popular. In my opinion, it tastes a bit like Dr. Pepper. If you want to try a Czech spirit, the waiter will probably recommend Slivovice, which is a very strong plum liquor, so approach it with caution. All pubs sell non-alcoholic beer, typically the brand Birell, and unlike in the UK, where friends and relatives may not speak to you for months or even years for drinking a non-alcoholic beer in a pub, here, rather beautifully, it's completely fine. In the last year or two, an increasing number of Czech pubs have started to notice the increase in popularity of real ales, and it's now very common for them to have a guest ale such as an IPA. When it comes to paying, you'll be asked if you want to pay together or separately, dohromady nebo zvlášť. And again, there's absolutely no stigma attached to either. Tip 10% or more if you feel the service deserved it, and you can almost always pay by cash or by card. On your way out, you can order pivo s sebou, which means beer to go. They'll give it to you in a clean, recycled plastic bottle, and you can even just go into a pub anytime and they will fill a bottle for you. I've taken advantage of this particular service quite a few times, and it's brilliant to serve to guests if you're having a dinner party or if you're about to watch 3 consecutive World Cup matches in a row on your own. Speaking of World Cups, in a typical Czech pub there's quite often a TV showing football or ice hockey, which are the 2 most popular sports. Very occasionally in the city, but more often in village pubs, guitars might appear and Czech folk songs might get sung. This is obviously absolutely wonderful when it happens, and a reward for the more intrepid visitor to this country who dares to travel out of the capital. There you have it. I hope you found this video useful. If you have any questions about Czech pubs, please post them in the comments below. I have a video about my top 10 pubs in Prague, which you can watch by clicking the link above. And I have another video of me sampling and discussing my favorite Czech beers that I really recommend you try. So be sure to check that out too. So until next time, from Yoshin, who's having a sleep, and from me, thanks very much for watching. Please like and subscribe. Toot toot.